Hey, welcome to World Entertainment, and the brand new full trailer for LEE Cronin's The Mummy is here. We're about to take a look at it. If we thought the first trailer, the teaser trailer, was very generic horror, be prepared for a lot more of that, because other than the name, there's really nothing linking this to being a part of a mummy movie. But make your own mind up, because here is that trailer. Have a look.
Can I get 2 slices of pizza?
No.
Of course, honey.
No, you never ever finish 2.
Hello?
Mr. and Mrs. Cannon, I'm Deputy Chief at the U.S. Embassy. Your daughter Katie has been found. She's alive.
It's very important you fully prepare yourself for what you're about to see. No sudden moves. No loud noises.
Hey, Butterfly. It's Mom and Dad.
Yeah, we are here. We're here.
She's been missing for 8 years. What was our daughter doing in a 3,000-year-old sarcophagus?
She just needs our care and lots of love.
How many others were found?
57.
How many of them were still alive?
What happened to Katie? What really happened to her?
Porque solo tú, Señor de los Milagros.
Say something.
Solo tú, Señor de los Milagros.
Say something.
Puedes transformar lo imposible en realidad.
Say something.
Amén.
Say something.
Don't worry, Grandma. It's fun to be dead.
I just want my daughter back.
Alright, there it is. So, as you can see, it is very generic horror. It's pretty much in the vein of every other modern horror. You get them doing the weird clicky noises, which seems to pop up in all the horrors now. There's all the kind of grotesque type of stuff being shoved in your face. It always seems to be a kid that has the weirdness going on. But other than this sarcophagus, there's truly nothing that links this or even makes it seem like it's a movie worthy of the title The Mummy. So maybe they should have actually gone in that other direction and renamed this The Resurrection, because it's not really fitting a mummy or the mummy vibe. You hear something like The Mummy, you're thinking of ancient Egypt, you're thinking of sand and desert and stuff, and that's clearly not what we're getting with this movie. It very much just looks like your typical horror movie within a household. And it's like, okay. So the trailer is not bad for what it's worth. Like, it's shot quite well. It's edited very well. It doesn't give too much away in terms of what the full story would be. Unfortunately, it does confirm the leaked script, or not script, sorry, the plot and story, because there was screenings for this. The teaser trailer did prove that correct, and this proves it even more. And yeah, those information coming from the test screenings was terrible. Like, the saying that the movie is absolutely god awful. Again, once you sit down, you just kind of, if you were looking at this and the title The Mummy didn't come up, you might actually go, okay, yeah, I can see what they're trying to do here and stuff. But the fact that this is meant to be a mummy movie, and let's face facts here, there's people, maybe even people watching this video, who don't know about this movie and will see the Mummy trailer and go, oh, they only announced Brendan Fraser and Rachel Rise have signed a deal. There's a trailer already, and then they click on this and they'll be like, the hell is this? Well, that's not Brendan Fraser and Rachel Wise. This isn't The Mummy. What is this? So it's saying here, like, hot off the record-setting resurrection of Evil Dead Rise, writer-director LEE Cronin turns to one of the most iconic horror stories of all time with an audacious and twisted retelling, LEE Cronin's The Mummy. In the movie, the young daughter of a journalist disappears into the desert without a trace. 8 years later, the broken family is shocked when she is returned to them, as what should be a joyful reunion turns into a living nightmare. A newly unearthed trailer for the movie finally unwraps some of the movie's biggest secrets, revealing what's become of young Katie after the time she spent in a sarcophagus. What follows is a take on the classic movie monster Mummy that's less a creature wrapped in bandages and more an Evil Dead-like demonic presence. And that is the thing about this, is the fact that it's more about a possession. It's not about an actual mummy or anything like that. It's a possession. It's an ancient force that possesses the child. And then she infects her little sister, which is why you see a quick glimpse, which is also in the teaser trailer, of the younger sister with the bloody teeth and stuff. It's because she gets infected as well. So then there's basically two of them. And this is even saying here, like, there's been some chatter online about negative test screenings, but the movie does look undeniably compelling and terrifying. It is, however, easy to see why there were rumours about the Mummy being retitled The Resurrected. And that's exactly what they should have done. They should not have kept the name The Mummy. Because, again, when you sit back and you look at it, you're like, this has nothing to do with the likes of The Mummy. You know, there's not even a mummy in the bloody thing. There's an ancient force that takes over the child. And we find out how it takes over the child, that she comes across this woman, a voodoo person or something, who gives her candy every day. By the way, this trailer also spoils or confirms that element, that she gives her candy every day, which is also strange that the parents are okay with this stranger giving their kid candy every day. But one day she gives her an apple, and inside the apple there's a scarab beetle. That's where the infection starts to come from, and we see that in the trailer. We see the bug, or beetle I should say, coming out of the apple. So that confirms as well that, yeah, everything that was said in those test screenings is true, which doesn't paint a good picture. Now, again, if you were sitting back and looking at the trailer just as a horror movie, you know, that wasn't going to be called The Mummy or anything like that, you would be kind of going, okay, it looks interesting. There's some interesting elements in here. Of course, there's still the trope of it being the kid kind of being possessed, doing stuff like that, the crawling on all fours, the chatter of the teeth, stuff like that, which they really do seem to always push that particular stuff. So when regarding the actual style of horror, it's very generic and very kind of everybody does it. There's nothing new being brought to it. But then, of course, you have the issue of the title comes up, LEE Cronin's The Mummy, and that's where you're kind of going, where is the connection to The Mummy other than a sarcophagus? Other than that, there's truly nothing linking it to being like a mummy movie. Now, obviously, when we're saying not linking it to being a mummy, we're not talking about the Brendan Fraser movies or something, but we're talking about the expectations of a mummy, you know, it being set in Egypt, or at least in a desert. And that's not even the case here. So it's very kind of, it's a weird one. It really is, because again, it's not a terrible trailer. It's not a trailer that you're just like, oh god, this looks horrible. Like, it looks very generic, right? You know, we have to keep saying that because it really does. But in terms of how it's shot and framed and stuff, it looks pretty decent. The one part that, again, is that typical trope that's thrown in, and it's actually, the line as well is delivered quite poorly, actually, is that it's fun to be dead, grandma, or whatever it is the kid says. And it's like, really? You know, you always seem to do that type of thing. That's going to be an issue for Blumhouse if they keep doing these horror movies and they're all the same horror movie. You know, the only thing that seems to be changing is the titles, but I don't know. I, for one, I've no interest in this movie. I really don't. I probably will check it out, you know, with Jack Sparrow, probably, to review it, maybe. I might put a poll up at some stage to see if you guys want it reviewed. But yeah, I think calling it The Mummy is a mistake. I think that, like, I don't understand how they brought this idea to the studio. Said, here's our pitch for a mummy movie, pitched it, and the studio went, we love it, go for it. Why didn't the studio, maybe they did, and they just continued with The Mummy as the working title, or what they thought would only be a working title. Maybe they were like, we liked your idea, but we don't think you should call it The Mummy. And maybe they're like, we'll change it, and that's where the resurrected thing kind of came from, and ended up sticking with the title of The Mummy, which doesn't make sense. So this thing is out in April, so the fact that we've only gotten the main trailer now, and it's like pretty much just under 2 months away, yeah, it's not really great sign that they're only starting to kind of promote this thing now. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be successful. I really don't. It's probably made for next to nothing. You know, that's the one thing Blumhouse does do, is they spend next to nothing on these movies. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. So what do you guys think of the trailer? Do you think they should have changed the name from The Mummy to possibly something like The Resurrected or something completely different? Do you think it is just a very generic horror style of trailer? Let me know what your thoughts are on all of it. And with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So do like and share and subscribe and hit the hype button and check out memberships and all that good stuff. You know the drill. Cheers, and I shall catch you in the next one.